Charles Cullen, The Angel of Death, A True Story. Part 1, A Chilling Beginning. It was a seemingly ordinary night in January 2003 at the Somerset Medical Center in New Jersey, USA. Charles Cullen, a man who easily blended into the background, worked the night shift as a nurse. No one could have guessed at that time that he harbored the dark potential to become one of the most prolific serial killers in America's history. Charles Cullen was born in 1960 in West Orange, New Jersey. His childhood and youth seemed unremarkable, marked by typical family challenges and personal difficulties. However, when he embarked on his career in healthcare, his life would take a disturbing turn. Part 2, A Dark Secret Unfolds. Cullen worked in various hospitals in New Jersey and Pennsylvania, initially appearing as a dedicated caregiver. Yet beneath the surface lurked a sinister secret. Patients under his care began to die at an alarming rate and under mysterious circumstances. His modus operandi was cunning. He selected drugs like insulin and digoxin, which were difficult to trace and obscured the cause of death. Cullen seemed to choose his victims arbitrarily, and no one suspected that he was a serial killer. Part 3. The first clues emerge. It took years for the first signs of a potential serial killer to surface. Hospitals began to notice suspicious patterns in patient deaths and initiated internal investigations. Yet Cullen remained cunning, covering his tracks by leaving hospitals prematurely or escaping unnoticed during investigations. Patients continued to die in the shadow of Cullen's unassuming facade, and the darkness of his deeds continued to spread. Part 4. The Hunt Begins. As the death toll continued to rise in Cullen's presence, hospitals grew increasingly uneasy. Suspicions grew, and investigations intensified. There was a sense that something more sinister was at play than initially believed. Finally, an internal investigation in 2003 revealed shocking findings. Charles Cullen was suspected of being involved in mysterious deaths at various hospitals. The investigations were handed over to the police and Cullen was arrested. Part 5. The Confession and the Horrifying Truth. Following his arrest, Charles Cullen quickly confessed to his crimes. His motives were complex and horrifying at the same time. He claimed to have acted out of a twisted sense of compassion, believing he was sparing patients further suffering. He wanted to mercifully end their pain. Yet his method of doing so was ruthless and murderous. Investigators began to determine the actual number of his victims. The shocking results indicated that in his roughly 16-year career as a nurse, Cullen had estimatedly killed between 40 to 400 people. The exact number remains unknown, as Cullen often obscured evidence, leaving no clear patterns. Part 6. The Verdict and the Lessons. In 2006, Charles Cullen was convicted of 22 proven murders and 6 attempted murders. He was sentenced to 18 consecutive life terms in prison without the possibility of parole. Despite his incarceration, the exact number of his victims remains a mystery. The story of Charles Cullen deeply shocked the nation and the medical community. It led to a review of safety protocols in hospitals and the development of stricter controls for medication administration. His case serves as a grim reminder that evil can sometimes manifest in the most unexpected forms, and that the quest for truth is often complex and protracted. Part 7. Conclusion. The story of Charles Cullen, the Angel of Death, remains one of the most disturbing and unsettling tales in the annals of serial murder. It raises countless questions and illustrates how an outwardly ordinary person can become a ruthless serial killer. Despite his conviction, the exact number of his victims will remain shrouded in mystery.